What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Midwest DBS. I just came back from an IQ 1K in Springfield, and I was able to go 5-1 in Swiss and make top 8 with Trunks. So I'm just gonna go over the deck real quick to let y'all know what I played and how it did and what my matchups were. So on the front side, the leader's pretty simple. You swing, you draw a card, you can awaken at 4 life. It also has an alternative awakening where if you have the one Vegeta in play, you can tuck it under as long as you have 2 energy, and you awaken to be a 15k. And this leader is just really good because just awakening on turn 2 really consistently is super good. Then it also has the effect where you swing, you draw a card. You also can remove the Vegeta out from underneath, activate battle, give plus 10k and double strike. And also it can play your pieces from your drop and rest mode. So that's what that does. So we're going to go to our pieces real quick. Everyone knows about these. You play 4 of the Vegetas. Comes into play, you draw a card, or it searches out a sun. Has barrier. The sun does the same thing, but it searches out the dad. So you got those pieces. Pretty straightforward. I don't go too in depth because a lot of people know what this deck does. It's been around for a while. I play 2 Bulmas. Bulma, when it's in your hand, you can discard it and you can search up your pieces. You can search up this, the Vegeta, or the evolved targets. So it just helps with deck consistency. I did play it once, actually. Just played it on the field, but that was to get to my SCR, which we'll go over later. So your evolved targets, Trunks is, they're both equally just as good, but I think Trunks is actually the backbone of the deck. It's barrier, it's blocker. When you play with evolve, it draws, it procs the once per turn on your leader and draws. So you play it, you essentially get a draw 2. When your opponent plays a battle card, it comes to play in rest mode. It's a once per turn and it procs on the first card they play. So just makes it deck really defensive and able to survive for the long game. And that's what you're trying to do. Vegeta is a 20k. Same thing, evolve draw. Procs the leader. Ability once turn draws. 20k when it swings. You get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So get rid of pesky barrier cards. It's a 20k swing at the leader, so they're going to have to combo to get over it. Or sometimes you're just taking care of 2 battle cards. Swinging at 1 battle card, blowing up another. Really good. The other good thing about the 1 cost is, which I didn't go over, I don't want to go too in depth, but all these guys are basically, a lot of times in hand, free combo power, because you can combo to defend, or even combo offensively, and you swing with your leader and brings it back into play, and then you get to draw a card. So beyond drawing a lot of cards, it offers a lot of combo power. I have 2 builds. I played this build, which actually runs 2 of these. And the reason why I run 2 of these is because the SCR in the deck. If I'm not running this SCR, I actually don't run these, but it helps me get to, you know, when I'm playing the successor cell. But this essentially comes out for 2 energy. You got to put one of your Vegeta pieces and one of your Trunks pieces underneath it when you play on this activate main. Then it has a activate battle. So activate battle when you swing. And it's just activate battle, so it could be on other swings too, but just activate battle. You place 2 cards from underneath it into your drop, and then you get to draw a card, and then 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, you get to KO them and it gains triple strike. So it's a big triple strike crit that I was able to close out some games with it. The only issue with the card is once it's out, that ability is activate battle. A lot of times your opponent will not let you go to battle because they don't want to deal with the triple strike crit at a 35k. It's pretty nasty. Next you play 2 Puntine. It's the free play. If we rest something, or if your opponent, if you rest something, you get to play this for free. And then basically when your opponent plays the battle card using a skill, or is it just counter? Activate the counter skill, yeah. Just counter skill. You get to choose one of their battle cards in rest mode, put it in rest mode. This combined with the Trunks is just so good defensively against so many decks. It's just good. Next is Turles. Turles is amazing. Essentially, it's a 2-cost. You have to have 3 energy to play him, so you can't play him on 2 because that'd just be way too good. But you play him on turn 3, 20k, double strike. It has 2 modes to choose from. You can rest, essentially. Is it right? Yeah. You can draw 1 card and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And when it comes to play, you get to choose. So either you're KO and 2 battle cards in rest mode, KO and 1 battle card, drawing card. And sometimes they had nothing in rest mode. Sometimes they just played out, draw a card just to get a 20k double strike swing. We played 2 Goku Steadfast Ally. We played enough extra cards to make this cheap. So essentially it's a 1 energy giant ball. So it rests a card, draws a card, and you get a battle card in play that has blocker. Good. My favorite card in the deck probably should be limited to 1 of, in my opinion, or just gone completely, because there were so many games where I played 2 of these, and I just knew as soon as I saw one, I was going to win the game. So, but yeah, it's a counter. So when you go in for a lethal swing, they think they got you with a negate, slap this down. No, you don't. And then you proceed to win. Since I am playing that, Overrealms were tricky. I tested different Overrealms, but at the end of the day, I went back to the good old faithful just because I do play cooler. I play Mira, Credit Absorbed. It has Deflect. And when it swings, it gains the power of all the cards you use to overwhelm it. So the key thing is, in battle, a lot of red decks are playing a lot of stuff to neg cards, an insane amount of number, but this card actually gains the power on swing. So when it swings, its base power becomes that high, so they just can't hit a neg 30 and kill it, which makes it super, super clutch, especially backed up with Cooler. And of course, Champa. They're at 2 life. You got 5 energy. You got these in your hand. You shouldn't lose. And this deck lacks closing power. So this is some of the closing power I added to the deck to make sure we could close games when we needed to. Next, 1 Borgamo. Borgamo was okay. There were some matchups where it was awkward. There were some matchups where it was just amazing. When one of your opponent's battle cards becomes rested, it's an auto. It's kind of like a rival, but you pay 2. You play this, you get to use 2 of your opponent's cards, and you can rest mode energy, battle cards. It's just super good. Especially at taking, a lot of times I was taking away energy with it because I was doing it either on turns where I knew they were trying to push game that turn. So sometimes they would play a card, Trunks would activate, and then that would activate this, play this, and I'd hit their 2 energy, so it kind of like almost time walked them sometimes. Other times you choose to close games. Next, it's a funny number. I played 3 Robotic Repost. You should play 4. I actually, for some reason, left one here in town because we had to travel, and I only had 3 on me, so I just played the 3 that I had. But definitely this card, bump up to 4. Negate, and it's yellow's Floodgate Negate. So when it affects everything but unisons. So when they swing, they have to choose one of their cards and rest it to keep swinging. Just really good. Next, I played 2 Bardock, Father and Son. This card was really good. It was a free play that rests a card. It gives me 2 for successor, and it procs some of the stuff like sometimes I played it for free. Rested a card, which would open up me to play Puntine if it wasn't in play already, or Borgamo. So rest a card, play this, rest 2 energy. And a lot of times by that time on some games, I had enough for this plus other things I had on the field. Gave me enough energy for sell and this would cut off my opponent's energy, so then it was just like GG. Super combos. I play 2 Krillin. It's the put 1 under, draw 2, 10k, 4 or less life. Just super good. I also played 2 Zamasu. I know a lot of people are playing 1 Zamasu or 1 Chilai. I play 2 Zamasu. I think the deck draws enough, at least for me. I always had a very healthy hand size, and I like how several times I caught my opponent slipping, and they're swinging the battle cards. Combo with this to get over and rest their leader, and was cutting off stifling draws for my opponent. So I still like it. Good card. Next, I played 2 of the Trunks Unison. Card is great all day. It's a 20k dual attacker. It can wipe the board and draw a card. It can also +0 rest one of your opponent's cards. And then, if it's 4 or less, you get to negate its skills and KO it. So the +0 does rest any card, and then it just happens to be 1 4 or less. Then you get to negate skills and KO it. Next, my favorite extra card. I played 3 Vegeta's Final Flash. I've seen some lists run 2, some lists are running 3. I just always feel comfortable always running 3 of this card. It just blanks a card, ignoring barrier. It helped me in so many matchups where people were trying to. I had the new whatever the hell it is, the Vegeta that they play in GT and U7 come out. He swung, thinking he was safe. I just hit it with one of these, and I was able to beat him the following turn because he was setting up to swing, or I forget the situation actually. It was a long day, but swing then wipe the board. I don't remember exactly, but this made it just stopped everything. I took 1 damage. Next, 1 up because you can only play 1. If you have an energy open, you can activate battle, rest one of your opponent's cards, draw a card. It's also a negate if need be. Next, we play 2 Realm of the Gods. Card's good. I like all the new Realm of the Gods cards, honestly, just because the dual nature, and they can do a different thing on your turn, different thing on your opponent's turn. The real value in this one is on your opponent's turn because it gives 10k, you draw a card, and then you get to rest 2 of your opponent's battle cards. I was mainly using it for that effect. Just really good card. Also, 2 Forbidden Power. Forbidden Power is also another dual use card. You can use it offensively by, I think it's 10k. Sorry, I don't remember. You choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switches rest mode. So you get to rest one of your opponent's battle cards, which can proc other cards, and then it also gives you your card swing at 10k. It also has the negate aspect. It doesn't negate the attack, but then your opponent can only use battle cards 1 more time this turn. So, especially with some decks are playing answers to Frieza. So when they are playing answers to Frieza, you're going to rely on this, and then you're going to rely on the other negate, blocker negate. A lot of times you're doing it for free if you're at 5 or less life. You're taking a life, negating attack, playing a blocker. Our SCR was Celzino. I was just wanting more closing power for the deck, so I opted to play Celzino, and that's why I played those 8-drop Vegetas I told you about earlier. I played Celzino in that the 8 drops in the Celzino build. You can also there's other SCRs you can run. You can run Pan or Kai. They're both fine, but when I do go that route, I cut the Vegetas for some other cards. In those types of builds, I might even cut these. But when you're playing Celzino as your SCR, you want to be able to get to that successor on turn 5 and play it. So we'll go over sideboard real quick. Sideboard, pretty straightforward. We play 1 of these, activate main. You get to pay 1 energy, 1 yellow, discard it, and then you get a it's -5k power of 2 battle cards ignoring barrier. Deals with Dark Power Black Messane, which can be annoying for your deck. 1 Frieza, honestly, I never sideboarded it in. So this is going Bye. I'll find something else to put in there. 2 Nimbus. I played 2 Nimbus just because I like the hard negate. It is a little more taxing because you have to pitch a card, but sometimes you want the hard negate and then the floodgate effect against certain matchups. So I like it at 2 inside. 1 Death Blaster. This can be used against other decks as well, but the main reason I put 1 there is because of 7-drop sell. Once you meet the requirements to actually be able to play it, which is actually super easy in this deck, you got a 2 energy Cold Bloodlust. So you hit that 7-drop sell when they're trying to take you down to 3 cards in hand, and then their sell does nothing. So yeah, pretty good. Max Power Kamehameha. It's a negate. It's also just some more board control. Because you can warp one of your opponent's battle cards as a higher energy cost than energy currently have in play. 2 Release from Evil. I think a lot of yellow decks should just be running Release for Evil. It's just really good. It can keep cards rested that you don't want to be unrested. And it does it ignoring barrier. It's just a super good card. Next. Vegeta Unison of Fury. I found myself bringing this in on my sideboard lots of games. So this might be something I might move to the main. Not sure yet, but I did bring it in lots of games. It's really good against certain matchups because it shuts down big attackers. And then sometimes I'll just paying it for 4 energy, minusing 3, giving him the plus 5k dual attack, double strike, and resting my opponent's energy. Their energy that they had left open they can never save. 2 Quit Sky. Everyone knows Quit Sky does. Sometimes I wish yellow had something better than this. Not that this is bad, but this is just, you just have to play it in yellow. When your opponent's trying to play battle cards during your turn and you know they're trying to set that up for that, you get this in your drop, do it, so now you tax them for when they try to do that. Also, Tyrical Blow. Great in this deck. It basically blanks a battle card coming to play, it's 3 or less, and blanks a Unison is mainly what it's used for. I think it can also in one of your opponent's battle cards and or Unison cards, yeah. So it's a Cold Bloodlust effect, but the card this game's coming to play has to be energy cost 3 or less, which a lot of people are playing a lot of low to the ground cards, and it can also hit a Unison, which is really relevant right now. So that's it for what was in the deck. My matchups real quick. Game 1 I played against Cell. I beat that matchup. Game 2 I played against it ended up being a really rough match for me. That was my loss. I played against a Sin Shenron. It was just rough because you're resting their cards, but all their Shadow Dragons restand, and they just have a super strong late game. It was just a rough matchup. Round 3, I played SS4 Vegeta Ramp. I 2-0'd that. Like I said, in a lot of matchups today, my savior in games like that were this. We were just going back and forth. I was getting damage in early with my leader. Like, it was my first swing, both games. I'd swing, remove that Vegeta, double strike him, and I just start throwing pressure on. And then by the time we got later in the game, when he thought he was safe, it was just cooler, go for game. After that, what did I play after that? After that, I played against Red U7. Red U7, I 2-0'd. I honestly think, and I've tested against U7 quite a bit. People can comment if I'm wrong, but I haven't had any issues with it, and I actually think this deck is favored against Red U7. Yeah, so I 2-0'd it. After that, for my winning in match for round 5, I played against Hatchiyak. I never actually tested this deck against Hatchiyak, so I was a little worried initially when I got into the matchup, but as the matchup progressed, I was just drawing more cards than him, and I have dual attacking Unisons, leader swings, I was setting up where I could swing with the battle card and then go into the 8-drop just to get more swings. And at the end of the day, he started to try to loop his Oceanus negates, which is pretty annoying. So he would Oceanus, and then I would somehow get rid of it at some point in the game, and then he would use the Overrealm that would get it back, play Oceanus again. It just had multiple Oceanuses. But I never took the Oceanus challenge. I knew I ran 2, once again, like I said, backbone of the deck, cooler in the main deck. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to keep my hand high. He's not going to kill me. And I was really aggressive against the deck. You just like I treated SS4. As soon as I wait on turn 2, I was swinging, double striking. Just to make him take 2 life. And a lot of turns on his second turn, he would charge energy, tap 2, tap out to play the Bardock Unison. And now he's tapped out again. So then I would swing with something else. And that game I happened to have my 1 of Champa. So hit him with the double strike. So within my first 2 swings of the game, I already had the deck down to 4 life. And that was game 2. And then he started to see an Oceanuses and Oceanus. And I was slowly but surely was able to chip away at his life, get him down to 2 life. And then there came a play where he tried to stifle me with Oceanus again. So I coolered. And then after I coolered, I was able to essentially beat face with both my Unisons. I already had this on the board. So I was able to swing twice. Then I was able to play the Vegeta and minus it. And was able to swing twice with that and kill them. Going into top 8, I lost first round to top 8 against the one deck I really didn't want to play against. And unfortunately, our top 8 consisted of 3 of them. We had 3 GTs in the top 8. Sat down, played against it. I lost both games. And I lost both games even after establishing Cell Xeno. Both games. GT's just really strong against Trunks. In my experience, it has been. If people haven't been having success against GT, you can comment below and let me know what you're doing to have success. I did think of some stuff, and some of my teammates did think of some stuff while we were playing, but it doesn't do any good. It's not my sideboard. But our only idea was, against GT, they swing with a lot of low, like 15k attackers, 50k crit attackers. So our idea was make room for Protector of the People in the sideboard. Because what it can do is just make all those swings pointless. And that's our main idea, is just Protector of the People in the sideboard for the GT matchup to help with that. So, once again, everyone, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any ideas on this deck. And we will see you all soon. Bye.